2 Minute Drill Podcast. I'm Jim Monahan along with Chris Swendeman, who still has his Buffalo Bills hat on. How you feeling over there, Sparky?
I'm feeling pretty good going into Denver this week. I really am. I was really nervous about going down to Jacksonville and that defense. They really are playing good football down there in Duval. But man, they pulled it out. Josh Allen put them on their back, and he said, "Let's go, boys, let's ride." And now they're going to Denver. We'll see what happens this week. But I'm happy that they're still going.
Josh Allen may, in fact, be the best player in the league right now. Interesting that you say that he put the team on his back because it's a quarterback-driven league. We've talked about that time and again. But it was McCaffrey from the 49ers who put the team on his back. He is so much fun to watch. My goodness, he's fun.
It's funny because I look at it sometimes. I get caught up talking about players because I'm so into fantasy football. And Christian McCaffrey, he's gotten that kind of injury prone, tag. And I hate to say it because when he's on, I don't care what you say, he is the best player in the league. When he is healthy and he is running right, there's nobody that could touch the way Christian McCaffrey plays. He could do it all. He is the ultimate utility, in the toolbox for any team. And now that he's on San Francisco, I think he got wasted a little bit in Carolina. But man, is he just so much fun to watch with San Francisco and Brock Purdy and the rest of them. He just fits in so well. And he's just really showing how much of a talent he truly is.
Meanwhile, the big news to come out of the NFL over the past couple of days is Mike Tomlin announcing that after 19 years, I need some time off. And he's out the door with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We were talking about this before we got on air, and it's really hard to put successful, 500 win seasons or more together back to back, maybe two, maybe three. Tomlin did it for 19 seasons, never had a losing record in Pittsburgh the entire time he was there. And the last couple of years, you saw the downturn. I think 3 or 4 of the last playoff games, they were beat by double digits in each of the last 3, 4 contests in the playoffs. But you know how hard it is to win in the NFL, and to be able to do it for 19 seasons in a row, that's just extraordinary. And if he's got to step away, I mean, I don't even think he's 50 yet. He started when he was such a young guy for the Steelers, but you know what? Good for him. Let him recharge. And I think this is a great, amazing opportunity, dare I say, for the New York Jets in the long run.
And you say that because?
Because by next year, I think you're going to be looking at Aaron Glenn. You know what? After 1 year, I could see not wanting to walk away and wanting some stability. I don't know if he's going to be able to improve this team enough to salvage his job after year 2. And if somebody like Mike Tomlin's out there, I don't really care who you are for the most part. Maybe a handful of coaches at this point would prevent me from going to open up the Brinks truck and say, Mike, put the number in on the check. I'll sign it, Woody Johnson, and you take it from here. I maybe a handful of coaches, Harbaugh being one of them, who is also looking for employment at this point.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think the Jets can afford to wait. I honestly don't. What's the biggest news that came out of the Jets in the last couple of days? Bailey Zappe. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Bailey Zappe, that's the big news. We have two of the winningest coaches in the league right now who are available, and the Jets are going to let Aaron Glenn go for another. They can't do it. They can't do it as an organization. They can't do it. I can't do it to Glenn, who by all accounts is a really nice guy, might be in over his head, but they can't do it to the fan base. If Mike Tomlin needs a couple of weeks to clear his head, Mike, here's an all-expense paid vacation for 2 weeks to name the spot and then get him in the building. You can't afford to wait a year. Oh, but Bailey Zappe's here, gang. Yo, yeah, let's go. Are you kidding me?
And wait, before that, the big news was their offensive line made it through the entire season, all healthy. That was their big claim to fame about this season, that their offensive line was healthy and made it through all the games, the regular season games. Really, that's what we're going to hang our hats on this year. That's how you know it's been a bad year.
And then, of course, John Harbaugh, who was fired. I think that's a case of the players need to hear a different voice because I don't know that they're going to get a better head coach to come in. And I understand they had a down year, but you're talking about a guy who had six first place AFC North finishes. He did win a Super Bowl. I believe he is 14th all time on the NFL head coach
Yep.
career win list and maybe third of current head coaches.
I
It's
believe
Andy
so,
Reid.
yes.
It's Andy
Yep.
Reid. It's Tomlin, and I believe it's him.
And it's him, yeah. It's I mean, Harbaugh at third, yeah.
Right. Until Bill decides he wants to come back, but that's a whole nother
Exactly. That's
story.
a whole, yeah, exactly. You're not getting going down that road.
I don't know that you're ever going to have two coaches of this caliber available at the same time. And right now, there were 9 teams looking for a head coach. Arizona, Atlanta, who apparently has already reached out to Harbaugh. I don't know what kind of an offer they made. You have Baltimore, you have Cleveland, Las Vegas, Miami, the Giants, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and you have to add the Jets to that list again. They have to, for everybody's sake. Organization, Glenn, the fan base, they have to. They don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's just been too much losing for too long. And they need it just looked like you never saw improvements from Glenn this year.
The
Like
last two games were a disaster. They were an embarrassing disaster.
they got worse. I mean, they had the worst losing percentage of any team in the NFL in the month of December ever. Ever. Not just this December, ever.
And that's
So
saying something when you
they
think
were
about
exactly.
some of the guys who have coached that team. And I think I've told you this before. I covered the Jets and Giants for 3 years in the mid 90s, was in the locker room of both teams multiple times during the year. And Rich Kotite, during the time that he coached the Jets, I remember standing in the locker room listening to him going, this guy is completely in over his head. And I know nothing about coaching
Right.
a football team. I know nothing about it at all. And I'm going, he has no idea what he's doing. It's,
Keep
so you look now
Yeah.
at the past two games
Right.
that Aaron Glenn had with the Jets, and that was very Rich Kotite-esque. The whole thing just looked like a runaway train, and Glenn and the staff were in no position to stop it. Never mind the players even wanting to try to stop it.
No, the effort wasn't there, and the coaching was invisible. He had fired Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, and you just regression wasn't the word because they were never good. So, but they just never showed any signs that they were going to get better. Some coaches, like Dan Campbell, he had a horrible first year, but you saw they wanted to run through a wall for him, and the players loved him, and the players tried. They didn't have the players per se for the formations he wanted to install, but they were trying. They gave effort. I don't even know what this is. What the Jets were trotting out the last month or so, and I'm telling you, they do need to do something. But after a Aaron Glenn debacle like this, you need to get it right. And I think whatever you got to do to get Tomlin in the building, that's your guy.
We've talked about Mike Vrabel and what the Patriots did this year, coming off of last year's disastrous season with Gerard Mayo. 1 year in, and they jettisoned him because you knew that they had to do it. And I'm thinking that that's what needs to be done here. With the Jets, I really do. I don't think they have a choice. And we were talking about Harbaugh just a minute ago. I don't know that anybody who comes in to replace him is going to have a totally different message, but it'll be couched in different vocabulary, perhaps. It'll be the same message. You and I were talking a little earlier. Basically, what Vrabel says to the team is very, very similar to what Bill Belichick said, and he played for Belichick, so he knows. But he's trying to break things down to get them to just focus. At the end of the game this past Sunday, what was he saying? Get a fourth down stop. We win the game. Like
Right.
he just put it right there. This is all you have to do. You don't have to go out and make the big statement, no, you stop them here. A few weeks ago, Drake May had a horrible offensive series. And what does he do? He pulls May aside and says, I just need one good drive from you. One good drive, we win this game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the big picture becomes a little bit of a smaller picture. So,
Right.
I think he's saying the same thing that Belichick did. He's a little warmer. He's a little fuzzier. He's hugging guys in the tunnel after the game.
He's a little bit more rah-rah.
Yeah, a little bit. But you talk to guys, and I know a guy, I've had conversations with him, who's a very close friend of Belichick's. And he's told me on numerous occasions that the Belichick that the public sees and the press sees is not the same Belichick that his friends see, or for that matter, his players see.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I think I think Vrabel's just a little more animated outside of the bubble, the player family, circle of trust bubble. And that does go a little bit of a way with the players, gets them fired up on the sideline, that kind of thing when that camaraderie. But I like what Vrabel's doing. And you know what? It's almost not fair to be a New England fan because you know what? You should have had some more years of suffering before you got good again. What do you guys had like one down year and then all of a sudden, hey, look at us, we're back in the playoffs. That's not even fair. Jet fans are like, we don't even get 1 year in the sun, more or less, bouncing back after, how many trips to the Super Bowl and 6 Super Bowl rings. And here you are back in the playoffs and back in the second round after 1 year of mediocrity.
Couple of weeks ago, you ventured up to Buffalo for the Buffalo Eagles game, and you mentioned listening to sports radio in Philadelphia afterwards on WIP. Fans cranky. The fans were cranky after the loss to the 49ers. A lot of them were screaming, stupidly, for Nick Sirianni's head. Sirianni has been, 5 years now as the head coach? Got to the wild card.
5 years of playoffs, yeah. 2 Super Bowls.
Yep, 2 Super Bowls, one of which he won.
Right, 2 Super Bowl berths. I should have prefaced that.
Any other team in the league not named the Kansas City Chiefs would go, I'll sign up for that right now.
Not Eagle fans. Not the Eagles. No. We want to just be
They got their pound of flesh.
We want to just be miserable.
They got their pound of flesh because the offensive coordinator was
Patullo. Patullo is gone. That's the sacrificial lamb for this year.
Yeah.
And, and 3 weeks ago, we were driving home. My buddy and I were driving home from Buffalo. And, we're listening to IP. And every caller in, it was either fire Patullo, fire Sirianni, or fire Patullo and Sirianni. And then you would have the black sheep fan that would call in and go, man, you guys are nuts. What are you guys talking about? The one who was actually realistic. And it just was hysterical to, listen to. But listen, as of today, Eagle fans got their pound of flesh. Patullo fired. So now Jalen Hurts is going to be on his 4th offensive coordinator in 5 years with the team. I mean, it hasn't stopped them from making the playoffs, but at some point, little stability on that offensive side of the ball. And, I do think Sirianni is an odd bird, but he's an odd bird, no pun intended, that wins. And winning covers up a lot. And, 5 years and 5 playoff berths for a team that didn't have a lot of winning, other than, the Doug Peterson magical Nick Foles year, they didn't do a lot of winning. This coach has already got you to 2 Super Bowls. You won 1 last year. not really a lot of complaining to be doing. If I'm another fan of another team, I'm looking at you guys, be like, "What are you crying about? Shut up,
Jets fans
deal
would
with
kill
it."
for that kind of deal, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. A Jet fan would sign up for that tomorrow. Are you kidding? Did you see? Did you actually see the video of the little kid that got interviewed on the news?
How great was he? What was he,
Eagle
about
fan.
10 or 11 years old?
He was 10, 11 years old. And he said, "This was my Christmas present. They lost." Yeah, deal with it, kid. Shut up.
Which coach did he say should be flipping burgers at McDonald's?
Patullo,
Yeah.
the offensive coordinator. And he wanted to pack A.J. Brown to pack his suitcase and get out of town, go somewhere else.
That kid will be
I
doing
was,
middays on WIP.
3 years from now, he's going to be on IP. He's going to be hosting the middays for sure.
3 years, it could be there in 3 weeks.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. He's all prepped and ready to go, man. He is an Eagle fan for life.
Hey, shameless plug time. My band Dead Air this Saturday,
Woohoo.
January 17th, we're playing a benefit show for the Light of Day Foundation. And it's a great organization. Parkinson's disease, ALS.
Yep.
They've been doing this for so many years, founded by Bob Benjamin. And we are playing at Palmetto on Ocean Avenue in Asbury Park.
Yep.
I think this is our fourth year of doing Light of Day shows. All the information is on the website at lightofday.org. But we are doing a tribute to the year 1976. So we're
Great
doing
year to pick.
50th, right? A 50th anniversary.
Great year to pick.
So many incredible songs, and we've got some great artists who are going to be joining us, including Mike Rocket, John Easdale from Dramarama. We have Lisa Bouchel, who's going to be joining us. I'm missing somebody. Allie Kenny. Allie Kenny is a young up-and-coming singer-songwriter. She's from Bergen County. And Zuzu from Soraya. And I am so pumped about playing alongside her. I cannot wait for this.
That is good. What a lineup you just rolled off of names. And this is going to be so much fun. And you know what? The town of Asbury Park, we've talked about it, how legendary it is for music. This is a weekend you need to make plans to be down in Asbury because you could bounce between so many places like the Wonder Bar, Palmetto, Stone Pony, and so many other places that have performers all weekend long. And all the money raised goes to the Light of Day Foundation. And you know what? Great music for an even better cause. Why wouldn't you want to be there?
And Billy Mack is going to be joining us doing a couple of songs as well. So we're really looking forward to it. All of the information is on the website at lightofday.org. And again, my band Dead Air playing on Saturday, this Saturday, January 17th. I believe the show starts at 12. There's a band that's on with us, and then we're hitting the stage at about 12:45 or so. And again, lightofday.org. Great lineup, wonderful cause, and hopefully we rise to the occasion with some really good music.
Looking forward to it. Just wrap up your set before Buffalo kicks off at 4:30 for me so I could get home and watch the game.
Will do. You know the
There you
drill
go.
by now. Like, subscribe. There's a little button right below this that you can do all of that too.
Right
Tell a
there.
friend if you like us. Tell an enemy if you don't. Just tell somebody, and we'll talk to you next week. And maybe there's another NFL coaching opening.
You never know. We might be up for coaching jobs before this is all said and done.
Let's not get carried away here.
All right, I tried. All right, talk to you next week, Jim.